What's up? I'm getting used to this. The audio setup is a little weird sometimes here, and I'm just getting used to it. It's week 3 of POV Pool's LiveCast show, streaming live from POV Pool headquarters in Los Angeles, California. How's everybody doing out there? I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to Chris Aldrich in the Pacific Northwest, in the Washington area, I guess. Dan Gibbons, wow, long time no see you, sir. I remember your phone calls at random hours of the day and night. Good old friend of Danny Medina's. I remember you. It's been a long, long time. And to everybody else that's watching, today we've got a little bit of news. I'm going to gloss right over it. The real news is what's going on with the pool halls. And that's what we want to do, is kind of share a couple of stories with you. And kind of discuss the progress in the United States with the pool rooms, whether or not they're going to reopen anytime soon, and how they're reopening. I have an interview with, I have 2 interviews to play back for you that took place on Friday. The first is with Ramin Bakhtiari of GoPlayPool. POV Pool is going to take Ramin on, and we're going to do some interviews on a weekly basis with Ramin Bakhtiari. And he did an interview on Friday with myself and with Christopher Wilson, the owner of the League Room in Parkersburg, West Virginia. So we're going to play that. That's about 20 minutes long. And I thought it might be helpful for everybody wondering when their homeroom is going to open. I thought it might be helpful for us to kind of like start this forum, this symposium of pool room owners and people that are in the industry that are trying to get, back on their feet in the U.S. with their venues, because with this, pandemic that's going on, our sport is in jeopardy. It's definitely not going to go away, but it's in jeopardy. A lot of the public venues are closed, and it's very difficult to figure out what's the safe way to play and when to start going to play again. And so we're trying to help answer some of those questions with this podcast. And so, like I said last week, and like I'll say every time I'm here, I will try to stream live for you every Wednesday and every Sunday and try to keep you guys in touch with what's going on during this pandemic, which is changing. Everything's changing in real time. It's all changing so quickly. So I have that interview, and then we're going to go live with Chris Swart, the owner of California Billiards, after we play the interview with Chris Wilson. So we're going to get an update from Chris Swart, who owns California Billiards, because we interviewed him last week with Jerry Machin and with Gilbert Najim, and they're not open yet. And if I'm not mistaken, too, we're already on day 3 of a soft opening for the state of California. So we want to kind of get Chris Swart on the line and get an update from him as to what he's doing at California Billiards, which is California's largest pool hall, boasting, I think, 12 bar tables, diamonds, and 10 diamond 9-footers and another 7 gold crowns. They've got foosball, darts, full bar, full kitchen, and they are closed. So we need to get them open quickly so that California can get back on the ball. And not just California Billiards, but, Hard Times Billiards in Sacramento, Family Billiards in San Francisco, Concord, or San Rafael, or San Ramon? Crown Billiards, Broken Rack. There are so many rooms. Billiard Palisade. There is, there's more rooms opening too. There's Bakersfield. There's the there's Clyde Norris's room in San Diego, College Billiards in San Diego. There's a ton of rooms here in Los Angeles. Anyway, they've all got to get open. We wanted you to hear it from Chris Swart, as far as what's going on with him. So, without further ado, I'm going to quickly go over some news stuff. And then we're going to go straight into the interview with Ramin and then to Chris Wilson. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. And I want to thank Tiger Products and JB Cases for supporting POV Pool over the years. And that's it. Let's take it to the next step, huh? All right, so just real quick in three cushion billiard news, the UMB and the Korean Billiard Federation they're canceling their events due to COVID-19. The World Cup of three cushion in Guri, Korea is postponed or canceled. It's originally scheduled for July 6th through 12th, and so far that has been postponed so far as we know, and that's the World Cup of three cushion. In addition to that, in New York, the Verhoeven Open or the Sang Lee International Open that's normally held in New York every year during the summer, that has been canceled. So no Verhoeven Open this year. I don't know how many years it ran for, but it's been quite a long time, and we're missing these tournaments, and pool and billiards is hurting because of it. So in the meantime, you've got home streams going on, and you've got ghost matches going on, like that of Roy's Basement with Anton Raga and Joshua Filler that took place on May 4th, 5th, and 6th. And, basically I just wanted to recap. On day one, it was a best of 5 sets, and they were playing Race to 21, and it was like 2,000 in the middle, I think, for the whole thing. Just a fun sweat bet, but a good excuse to have a live stream. On the first set, Joshua Filler beat the Ghost 21-9 against Antonio Raga, who got 17-15. I guess he gave up going to 21. And then Filler beat the Ghost again, 21-9 again, twice in a row. He got the same score, 21-9, to Anton Raga's 16-10. Third set, Raga won at 21-6 to Josh Filler's 19-13. Josh gave up, I guess, when Raga. It was clear that Raga was going to win. And finally, Josh Filler beats the Ghost again, 21-7, beating his first two scores of 21-9. And they're playing 12 ball, by the way. So about 9 ball rotation, about 10 ball, about 15 ball. This is 12 ball. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I thought about doing this a couple years ago to raise the bar for 10 ball players out there and, tell them they should play 12 ball. So hats off to Roy Francisco of Roy's Basement, who has stepped up to do more action matches on his channel, Roy's Basement on Facebook. Over here on the West Coast, we've got a guy who, you may be familiar with. His name is Dexter Real, and he has D-Real Promotions, and they've been doing some quarantine shootouts as well. Instead of playing the Ghost, though, they're sort of agreeing to play with each other. These are just heads-up matches in a very small, enclosed area with just, I think, a maximum of 4 people in the room. So they're doing the best they can to stay safe. I really hope they do stay safe. God, I'd be heartbroken if something were to happen to any one of these players just going to meet each other. Boy, that would really be a pain for us in the pool world, we're scrambling to try to continue playing. But anyway, his quarantine shootouts in May have been posted, and they started off with Edgy Geronimo, which was on May 5th, and May 8th they had another matchup. They got matchups going through May 23rd, and one of the big ones, I think, they've got is May 22nd. It's Johnny Tang versus Fred Martinez. They're going to play for $2,000 in the middle, and they've got like a 10-ball race to 21 going on. So you can catch D-Real Promotions on Facebook. Go to Facebook, look up D-Real Promotions, and you'll find Dexter Real's stream. So with that, we are going to just go straight in to Ramin's interview with myself right after this. Thanks a lot, everyone. Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Today is May 8th, 2020. And I am actually sitting here with Ramin Bakhtiari of the GoPlayPool app. And we wanted to check in with him, talk to him a little bit about everything, also to introduce him to you viewers out there who don't know about GoPlayPool and what it's been doing for pool in the last 8 to 10 years. How you doing, Ramin?
I'm good, my friend. Good day to everybody. Thank you, Daniel, for having me on your podcast. It's a pleasure being here. So how are you guys doing over there?
We're doing about as good as can be expected for, for a lockdown order.
Like absolutely.
2 months in the making. But today, if I'm not mistaken, is a good day. We're supposed to be reopening businesses. I think it's like stage 2.
Stage 2 started today in most of the counties in California. So I'm not sure about other states, but California, the stage 2 started today.
Yeah. And, for the most part, that means the essential businesses or other, I don't know. Are you familiar with what the stage 2 storefronts are?
Marianne and I try to avoid reading too far, too deep into it.
Yeah.
Because we don't understand it 100%. One county says this, one county says that.
Yeah. Likewise.
I travel between counties to go visit my parents, so I'm not sure exactly. Can I go into this restaurant? Can I go to that barber shop or not? So we're just gonna let it play out, and make phone calls before we go anywhere. So make sure that business is open wherever we're going.
Yeah. So let's just. I just wanted people to know about GoPlayPool. How long has GoPlayPool been in business, and tell us about how you got started.
Well, we initially started building the app and the website and the system back in 2010. So we have been in business for 10 years, and September 17th is going to be 11 years. Yet we did not go public until September 17th of 2012. So, as far as the public eye, we've been in business for 8 years.
Okay, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to clarify for everybody. This is an app that you can download, correct?
Correct. It's a mobile website, desktop, and an app that you can download, and it's available on Google Play and iTunes, Apple Store, and it's 100% free. And basically, the idea of it is the director of all the pool halls in the United States, with all the amenities they have, tournaments, leagues, bar food, and and whatever else they have, it's listed. So it's a very organized format of a Yelp, without all the fun comments that are available on Yelp.
It's targeted, is what you're saying. It's targeted to people who consume pool and billiards.
Oh, absolutely. It's targeted towards pool players, but at the same time, we stopped one concept about 6 months ago, and I'm glad we did. We were doing advertising in colleges and universities for them to download the app, because those are the people that go to bars, and they, it's not only about pool, because a pool hall does succeed when they have tournaments and leagues, but they want people off the street to come in the bar as well, for their food, for their table time, for whatever. So we advertise to the younger crowd in colleges and universities for them to download the app. And if they're in the area of a pool hall, they go in, and you never know, they might become a future pool player and join the league, or, play a tournament. So we bring them business, basically.
Let me ask you this real quick, without getting too deep into it, because I know that this is really what we want to do. Is we want to remind pool players and pool, people who follow pool and billiards to download this app and use this as a reference, so that they can find venues to go and play at, or they can find out about information about those venues, and also about possible tournaments coming up. That's one thing. That's one huge benefit of using the GoPlayPool app that I have found extremely helpful as a live streamer is, what's coming up. And you have done an excellent job of corralling venues from all over the country to submit media to you, so that you can post on a calendar. So, and usually 2 to 3 months in advance. Is that right?
Yeah, the flyer section, we just finished the database a couple of months ago and introduced a new database in February, right before this whole shutdown started. So it is 12 months ahead. So, we have it for a full calendar year. So if March ends, we add March of 2021. And then when April ended, we add April of 2021. But we did stop right now because everything is up in the air. So, basically there's a COVID-19 information section that pops up if you look up tournaments for May that we're in right now, that says, hey, there are no tournament flyers available. Check with your pool rooms, see if they have any venues or any tournaments available right now. Right. Because there's, it's up in the air. Some tournament flyers are out there right now, but when you call the pool room, they say, no, we're going to cancel it. So I don't want to give the false information to people, but the section itself is pretty amazing, in my opinion, at least, is that, you can filter by state, by city name, there's a section we're going to be adding by amount of money added to the tournament. So if you're looking for $5,000 added plus, you can look up $5,000 added plus tournaments.
That's a great idea. That's
cool.
And
it's month to month, and it starts with date. So that's the basic filter. And then you can filter to go by state or by city name or however you want to filter. So it's a little bit more organized than it was before. Before it was just thrown onto the page, as an image. And now it's all like PHP coded, and you can search for it, you can filter for it, you can do a lot of stuff with it.
And just once again, it's a free app that everybody can download to their device, their tablet, their iPhone, what have you.
The app is 100% free. The email, there is a pop-up on the app that comes up if you want to find out about future events or future information about the app. You can put in your email address, but it's not mandatory. You know, we don't require login. We don't require your email address. We don't need anything from you for you to download the app.
Okay.
You know,
Can you
because go ahead.
Can you divulge any numbers? Can you tell us maybe how many people across the country have this app?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We changed up our C++ coding. I'm not going to get into that on Apple and on iTunes. So the numbers that you see on the store are not the true numbers that we know of. Because the app was originally made up on a different platform for both systems, and on that particular system, we're right around 300,000. And on the new system that's been on for about 8 months now, it was August of last year, so about 8 months, we're right around 25,000. So about 325,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. You know,
That's
I don't
great.
have the exact number. I don't look at it daily, you know, but a lot of people, they get the app, but then they they get rid of their phone. So they download the app on the new phone. So those numbers are a little bit skewed because they're not the true numbers.
Right,
You know?
right.
So based on that filtration, you're probably looking at about 250,000.
If I'm not mistaken, too, you know, from speaking to you over the past several months, you've also expanded to Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
You're not mistaken. We have not gone public with the Canada directory.
Was that?
No. The news article is out. People know about it.
Okay.
But you cannot find it anymore, you know, because it's not on the system yet. And the reason it's not on the system yet is we were going live with it. The press was ready to go. And all of a sudden, this whole COVID-19 kicked in. So because of that, we put it on the back burner right now.
Yeah.
And we're not going to go live with it until we have some sort of an understanding of, you know, what pool halls are opening and how they're opening and when they're opening.
Yeah.
Especially Canada. I mean, I know they're neighbors with us, but, you know, I have to keep up with their news if I want to be able to, you know, release this listing. So I'm not going to release it until you have some sort of a definite idea of what's going on up there.
Yeah. Just for anybody that's just tuning in right now, I'm talking to Ramin Bakhtiari. He's the co-owner of the GoPlayPool app that's available for free download to your tablet or device, either iPhone or Android. And we're currently talking about the GoPlayPool app itself. And for those of you who have watched my live streams and my recorded matches over the years, you may have become used to seeing a GoPlayPool logo on my live stream. This is Ramin Bakhtiari, the owner of that company. One thing I really appreciated about the GoPlayPool app is that as a live streamer, I could also promote. Obviously, you and I have a bit of an advertising agreement with each other, so you know, it's a pretty low cost solution for me. But one thing that was great is that you would provide a lot of your registered members with push notifications to when I might have a big event coming up. And that's not just the live streaming announcement. That's also like, hey, sign up for this tournament in a month announcement.
Correct.
And that's always something I have found of great value with the GoPlayPool app, and I just think it's you know, not to replace print advertising, because I know that print advertising with magazines and newspapers and whatnot, they have a value in and of itself. But what GoPlayPool does is provides a very low cost alternative to advertising to up to 250,000. You know, members of your audience. So that's a great thing, and I really appreciate you for doing it. And I hope for the best for you during this pandemic.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you very much, Daniel. And, you know, I'm looking forward to do more work with you, of course, you know, and the future is bright. You know, that's all we can say right now, you know, and we're looking forward to, you know, a change in this whole system and see where we go from here. Also, I do want to mention that since we have suspended all fees for room members, room owner as members, we also are introducing a 3-month free trial for new members. So, you know, if any room owner out there is, you know, planning or was hesitant to become a member to start with, or never heard about this before and now they know about it, you get 3 months for free. So, you know, it's a monthly membership, and it's a recurring account. It's $25 a month, and you get every bit of information that you can place on the system in regards to your pool room. Of course, you know, you can place it about section, retail section, images, menus. You can upload everything, and you have your own dashboard. You have your own login. You know, so everything you upload, it's live immediately. So, you know, it's not like you have to call me and say, hey, I want to upload this image or whatever. You know, it's like a business page on Facebook, basically.
Okay.
Not as sophisticated as Facebook, though, but it is. And also you get push notifications. So if you have tournaments coming up, you know, you have a special event coming up, you want to promote your happy hour specials or food special combination, 3-hour of pool, you know, with a purchase of $10 or more, or you have a discount or promo, you can use the push notifications and send it to a local, you know, area like 50 miles and, you know, get the business that way. And
so is there, sorry to cut you off, is there a member, is there a user interface for members?
Yes, yes. There's a user interface for members. So
for paid advertisers and pool rooms.
Paid members, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they go in, they sign in, and they also get promotional discount coupons that they can place on the system that come in. If you're a college student, you get 10% off. Military, you get 10% off, 20% off, whatever. And we have made all these images for all these coupons and discounts. And so you don't have to upload an image as far as advertising image goes. So we have about 6,000 images right now that are pre-made. So you basically want to do military discount for 25% of your total tab. So you grab the ticket, image, put a title on it, write a description, and press it, and it goes live immediately. That's
like template based.
It's all template based, yeah, exactly.
Based. That's great. So you just write the information, it populates the template that you select.
And it's done, you
That's
know,
great.
You know, and they also get all sorts of weird stuff like featured rooms. They can upload their menus, their about section, retail section. A lot of pool rooms have a retail section, and they really need to emphasize on that a bit more and push it more, because they can sell outside just the people that physically walk in, and you know, we have provided that platform for them.
Right, right. Well, that's great, Ramin, and I think it's a good idea for you to announce this 3-month trial to new members. And what I hope for you is that when this does sort of you know, scale back to a new normal, that you know, you find a lot of success with this app, because I think I've been using it. I mean, people have been just asking me what tournaments are happening next month. I tell them, just go to the GoPlayPool app. You'll find out what tournaments are happening next month.
Yeah, just click on the month and, you know, go there and scroll down, find your date, and bam, there you are. You know, you can
basically
select it, you know. And you can call the room, you know. I mean, that's one thing that the flyers have problems with, some flyers in the country.
And we're talking nationwide. We're not talking just local. We're
talking
nationwide.
Yeah.
This is
most pool rooms email us their flyers, and then, you know, I go through Facebook and social media twice a week. You know, usually it's on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I go spend a couple hours, scroll down, and grab whatever flyers we don't have already, and, you know, we put it on the system, and that's it. The system does the rest. And you know, major reason that I decided to do this as far as a database with the search engine attached to it is because some pool rooms, you know, I don't have a single one in mind right now, and I'm not going to use their name anyway, but they have a $5,000 added pool tournament, starts on a Friday, finishes on a Sunday, and they've spent $200 making a gorgeous flyer, and they don't have their address or phone number on the flyer.
Oh.
And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with this picture? It doesn't even make sense. And then they are very, very sad and confused why we have a $5,000 added tournament and only 22 people showed up.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
and I'm not exaggerating. You know, I've gone to $5,000 added tournaments, and there were 17 people there.
Yeah.
You know, so so the advertising needs to be done a little bit better. So basically, on the flyer section, as soon as the flyer is uploaded, the name of the room, the address, and the phone number is already on the system. So we just add it. So when you see the flyer, you can call the room, you can get directions.
They're already tagged, in other words.
They're already tagged on them, so you can call the room and get more information.
Okay, so if there happens to be, even in other details like the entry fee, if there happens to be a detail that's missing in conjunction with a phone number, then
right,
they can always get that information that is tagged to the media that's up there. That's amazing. Well, that's great. So, Ramin, I really appreciate your time with us. Please, if there's anything you want to tell your users right now who may have hundreds of questions for you.
If you have questions, call me, text me, Ramin@GoPlayPool.com. Yeah, I'm not going to give my phone number on the air. Should I do that? No, I'm not going to do that. But email me, and we'll go from there. And users, please download. Please, let us know what's wrong with it. Let us know what you want fixed. Let us know what you want improved. Let us know what you want added. We have the system. We have our own servers. We have our own setup. So, we don't, use other people's stuff. We make this from scratch. So, we want your feedback to how we can improve this. And it's 100% free. So on Google and on iTunes, just keyword GoPlayPool, and you have the app. And we don't collect any information, so we don't need your credit card information. We don't need your login. We don't need your email address. We don't need anything from you, because our purpose is that it's a small family. The pool world it's a small family, and I call it family because I think it is a family. So we want to make sure that everybody gets it and everybody has access to it without having to go through loops and all sorts of stuff to get the app. So the app is free. Download it. Let us know what you think, and if you don't like it, uninstall it. That's the worst thing. It was free to start with, right? So, but I think you'll like it. There are many sections to the app besides the directory of pool halls and the flyer section. You have GoPlayPool 101. That you get about 3,000, 4,000 hours of video, video instructional videos on how to play pool, and there's a lot of reading material on there. And we also have a tip installers directory, so you can look for a tip installer, within the borders of the United States. And then when we do Canada, we're going to add that part as well. And there's a bunch of other stuff too that I can't even.
Yeah, that's something that I didn't really take the time to cover with you, is that some of the other ancillary services that you guys are trying to feature within that app, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Because it's got a lot of room, and so we're adding stuff as we go. And we have a featured pool room section that randomly selects featured pool rooms that come up, and they're part of the membership. Of course, you have to be a member to be part of the featured room section. And then we have the Go Deals, which is the discounts and promotions. So if you're a member, all your coupons and whatever discounts or offers you have are listed in that section. Okay. Again, these are random listings, and we keep it at random because we want to be fair to all the pool rooms. So we don't want to start alphabetically, because that would be unfair, and we don't want to start with somebody that's been the longest member. That would be unfair. So we keep it as like random. So every time we refresh the page, it might be somebody else's coupon from Maryland to Florida to Denver, Colorado to California. So you never know whose coupon is going to pop up.
Hey, who knows? Maybe in the future you'll be doing a partnership with Honey or somebody like that.
I'm reading a lot about Honey right now, and we'll talk about that some other day, right?
Okay. Hey, Ramin, real quick, because I want people to be able to see the interview with Christopher Wilson. If you're a room owner, an advertiser, how does somebody enroll with GoPlayPool? What's the best way?
Best way it is to email me, Ramin@GoPlayPool.com. I handle the day-to-day operation. Marianne does the back back end work. She's the database creator basically, and she handles that part. So if you want to talk about marketing, if you're a pool room owner, if you're an advertiser, if you have questions, and you're concerned that maybe this is not the right time to do it, maybe this is, we'll wait, but it's never too late, never too early to get your name out. So I recommend contacting us. We'll talk about it and we'll figure out, what the price tag would be to get your name out, including the situation that we're in right now. Again, pool room owners get it for free for 3 months. So, the sooner you start, the faster you can get your name out. So that way you can enjoy, all the items that we offer, in regards to the membership.
That's great, Ramin. Thank you very much once again, and also welcome aboard. I hope we get some good content from you here on POV Pool.
Oh, of course.
And looking forward to some of your interviews. So let's have fun. And by the way, if you want to have some fun, POV Pool has also live streamed Ramin playing pool. So if you want to go to GoPlayPool, go to the POV Pool channel on YouTube and look up Ramin Bakhtiari. You'll find him.
Wow, a blind man shooting pool, right?
Well, I don't know. You kind of take your time playing there, so
yes, sir.
maybe
yes,
you
sir.
are blind.
I'm not in a rush to go anywhere, so I might as well make the shot, right?
Yeah, I guess so. All right, guys. Thanks a lot again to GoPlayPool. Download the app today to your device. And
for the audience out there, everybody be safe, be smart, and we'll see you guys soon. So, and don't forget, find a way, find a pool room, and go play pool.
All right. Thanks again to Ramin Bakhtiari for that, for your time on Friday. And also thanks again for the interview that you're about to see with Chris Wilson from the League Room in Parkersburg, Virginia. So once again, get the GoPlayPool app for your device and use it. I use it frequently for information on what's going on. As a person who schedules events and tries to find the best time to have events, GoPlayPool has been really helpful because I'm able to see what other events are going on and know what open available dates I may have as a pool promoter. That's just one of the many helpful functions that GoPlayPool has done for me. I want to shout out to everybody that's watching right now. Say hi to you, Bill Roach, Farshid Rahmani. Say hi to Todd Minobi and Bang Time Pool. Also to Brenner Holloman. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. It's great to see you again. And I hope you guys are all staying safe and doing okay. And I want to say hi to Chris Aldrich again. He's up in the Washington area. Glad you guys are tuned in. I've got one more interview to play back to you. It is part 3 of What's a Room to Do. And it's one of the reasons why I call this LiveCast today Making Progress, because I think slowly but surely we are making progress in America. Some of the rooms are starting to open, and some states are starting to loosen their restrictions a little bit. In the midst of this COVID-19, this pandemic that's going on in the country. Whether or not we will pay a price for that remains to be seen. But I am sort of one to feel that if you don't want to take a chance, then don't go out, But there are people out there who, are willing to be responsible, who are willing to, take the necessary steps to prevent themselves from getting ill. And also, I would hope that they're responsible enough not to, spread their own germs or whatever it is by, practicing social distancing in a proper manner. And the same with some of the rooms that are beginning to open up. They have like a 25% capacity rule in some states. But anyway, I'm not going to belabor this. I want you to watch the interview with Chris Wilson of the League Room with Ramin Bakhtiari right after this segment. Thanks a lot.
that same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. We're known for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. We're known for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a little flashback from 2011 at Chris Swart's California Billiard Club when it was in Mountain View, California. And that was the Seminole Pro Tour that took place in 2011, almost 10 years ago now. And we see guys like Mauro Paez, Arturo Rivera, Alex Pagulayan, Scott Frost, Frank Nordman, woo, George Michaels, Jaynard Orke, Mike DeShane. Did you see that? How young he was in that photo? In those photos. Just really good to have those memories. And I want to thank Bob Bolio for sharing those memories on Facebook. That's where I got all of these photos of Bob Bolio's. You can go to Bob Bolio's Facebook page and send him a message. If you have a request for any particular photos, I'm sure he'd be happy to send them to you. But if nothing else, send him a message and say thanks for all the hard work he's done. You know, that's a hobby of his to take photos of pool players, and He's got lots of them. I think he said he's got 20,000 archives on his Flickr alone. So that's quite a lot of shots. So with that, we're going to segue over to Ramin Bakhtiari interviewing Chris Wilson. And after this, we're going to go live with Chris Swart from California Billiards. Thanks a lot, guys, and keep loving pool. Hi, everybody. Today is May 8th. It's Friday. And today on POV Pool, we have special guest Ramin Bakhtiari of GoPlayPool. And he has arranged a very special interview with Chris Wilson. He is the owner of a room in Parkersburg, West Virginia called the League Room. And we thought it would be very helpful for you guys out there to listen to what Chris has to say. He has been closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the shutdown in the state of West Virginia. And we thought it would be a good idea for you guys to see what other rooms are doing in other parts of the country besides the West Coast, which is where POV Pool usually represents. So with that, I want to thank Ramin Bakhtiari of GoPlayPool and remind you to download the GoPlayPool app today to your device so that you can find out about rooms all across the United States and all about events in the United States that are going to be taking place when it comes to Q Sports, thanks to GoPlayPool. So with that, Ramin, thank you very much. And thank you, Chris Wilson, for coming on to our show.
Thanks, Daniel, for having me on the show. Thanks, Chris, for accepting my invitation to have this Zoom meeting. Hopefully you and your family are safe. And now tell us a little bit about the League Room. Where are you guys located and, what's going on in there?
Okay, well, the League Room's in Parkersburg, West Virginia. We've just recently moved from our old location, which was about 6,000 square foot, into our new location, which is about 15,000 square foot. So we more than doubled in size, and we did that, actually we opened on February 20th of 2020. So that was our first official day there, and then of course they closed us down because of the COVID less than 30 days later, and then we remained closed for 45 days during the stay-home order.
And as far as the new location you're in right now, what's the size of the room and table-wise? How many tables do you have, sizes and everything?
So we expanded and went to the new location, which again was about twice the size. And now currently in the setup, we have 20 diamond pool tables. There is 8 9-foot diamonds. There is 12. I'm sorry, we got more than 20. We have 22 tables. Because there's 8 9-footers. There is 12 7-foot diamonds. We have one of the Bigfoot 10-foot diamonds, and we also have the Earl Strickland 4-pocket 9-footer.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
You're the one.
Yep.
So you're the one that stole the table from us. We lost your video.
There we go. Keep going. Sorry.
That's all right. And what other form of entertainment you have as far as food, bar?
Well, we weren't able to get up and running before the closure on anything, but the plans are very soon to have full restaurant, full live entertainment on stage, and as well as all the tournaments and everything else that we're already doing. We're going to have comedy nights, open mic nights, just an array of things up on the stage that I have now, as well as larger tournaments. I've coordinated with Ed over at Sandcastle, and I'm part of the NBL stops for that tournament. We also have BCA and BNEA leagues out in our room. So we're planning, we're having state tournaments scheduled for that for next year and everything else. Because we have the capacity now to do larger in-house tournaments, because I also am a diamond dealer and can get those tables fairly quickly if I needed more than 12 7-footers to have a tournament, or more 9-footers to be able to do that.
That's perfect.
That's very good news.
And since you've moved into the new location now, let people know as far as age restrictions. Is it 21 over or no?
Well, right now we are family friendly, and that's what we pride ourselves on, meaning there is no alcohol in the building. You can bring it in. We're actually a BYOB, which is totally legal in West Virginia if your classification is correct, which ours is. But once we get our beer license, we're going to be more of a tavern, which is basically your Applebee's locations and any type of restaurant that serves alcohol. That's what we're going to be. So I will still consider us family friendly. You will be able to come in under the age of 21. You just won't be able to sit at any of the designated bars.
Okay, wonderful. Now, besides the fact that we're dealing with this COVID-19 thing, you do have regular weekly tournaments and monthly tournaments, I'm assuming?
After the release of the stipulations, yes, we'll have weeklies. We have a nice chip tournament on Fridays. It is a great draw. We have monthlies every last Saturday of the month. And then we do at least 4 specialty tournaments a year, once a quarter. We'll have a higher entry fee guest tournament where we'll have the pros and everything come in.
Okay,
so
wonderful.
that we run 4 of those a year as well.
Oh, good, good. Now, one question that I always love to ask room owners, because I want to know what the background is. What was the main reason you decided to open a pool room?
Well, and because of the name, you'll figure it out. Leagues were going really good in Parkersburg, and I had my league team that I'd shot with the same 5 guys for 10 years, and I wanted a place that we could just call home. And my original thought was I was going to find a place that I could put 2 7-foot diamonds in, and that was going to be our league room. That was going to be where we shot out of every year, so we didn't have to go to a bar or whatever. And like everything else I do, it got a little out of hand, and now I'm where I'm at right now.
That's a pretty good story, in my opinion, at least. You know, so as far as the location of the room, I'm assuming again, besides this COVID-19 thing, you know, 7 days a week, normal schedule and everything, right?
Yeah, we're open noon to 10 Monday through Thursday, noon to 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, and 1 to 10 on Sunday, 7 days a week. As of right now, we only close for 2 holidays, so we're always there doing something.
Now, folks out there, if you guys want to find the league room, you can go to facebook.com/the league room. That's their fan page. Like their page, you know, write a comment in there. If you have been there or not, you can still write a comment based on this podcast. Or you can download the GoPlayPool app, find them on there, and find everything that they have, and you know, get to their place. If you're in West Virginia, go visit them. Chris is a pretty cool guy. I'm sure he's gonna teach you a couple of things on the pool table, maybe as well, you know, and introduce you around to everybody in the room, right, Chris?
Well, I'll give it a shot, but as Oscar Dominguez and I always joke around with each other, the quickest way to give up pool is to open a pool hall.
Yeah. You know that. You know, yeah, his game is pretty rusty right now. Or start streaming. Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, Chris, let me ask you this question. What is your advice to other pool room owners based on the scenario that you're in? What are you experiencing that you go, okay, let me share this with the world?
I've helped set up several rooms, and actually Larry and I, through our vending company, have equipment in at least 2 other rooms that we help set up. And I always tell them, don't get over your head. Everybody wants to start the biggest and the best. When I started the league room, I literally had 2 tables. That was what I started with, and that's what we played on. And as I made a little money, I bought another table, or I would get another vendor in there. And when I first started, it was 2 vended tables. I didn't know nothing. I had a building. I said, park those 2 tables right there, and we shot league out of it. And we grew as we could afford to grow. So as I tell all the other pool room owners when they're asking for my opinion, don't start over your head. Don't go out and take a $200,000 loan out and do this and do that. Provide a good experience, provide a good product, and build off of that. So anybody that's already running right now, if you're hurting because of the shutdown, then come back strong with something small, something able to be done. You know, if you have to, go out and get that good income. You know, start a league or a tournament or a weekly tournament that just guarantee you that residual income that you know is going to be there, that's going to continue to make you float, and then do your budgets based off what you know is going to be there, not what you're projecting to be there.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I like that, actually. Now, any messages you want to let the audience know as far as anybody that's missing coming into the league room, or any new customers that will come into the league room. As a pool room owner, what's your concept of appreciation when it comes to somebody that's been shut down and hasn't made money being a pool room owner? What's your message to people that want to come in and play pool?
Well, right now we're open. I haven't had to turn anybody away. We've had a max yesterday of 22 people in at one time, so we were under the minimum or maximum. But my message is, do whatever you feel is safe. If you are worried about your health or somebody's you live with or around's health, then continue doing what you're doing. Stay home, do your thing, don't go out. Pool will be there. It was there before the COVID. It'll be there after the COVID. And that's what I tell everybody. I've gotten to the point where my business will be here, and I made sure of it I hustled for 45 days we were closed. We didn't take in a dime at the actual room, but I was able to pay all my bills with the support of the community, and that's the pool community, the local community, everybody that pitched in. We did some sales online. I did some live streams. We had a lot of support on the live streams of people just wanting to know what was going on. I got people in Canada, California, everywhere that's supporting us and saying, one way or the other, I'm going to get down there and support your room. And I think the reason they do that is they see that me and my team, we care about pool and anybody associated with it. This is a business, and at the end of the day, I have to pay the bills, but I'm more interested in being able to brag about what we've invented and what we've built.
Speaking of which, Chris, if you don't mind my asking, are you a renter or do you own the location?
I'm buying the location. That was what took so long. We bought the first location, and as we outgrew it, I needed to be able to make sure I don't like to rent just because my personal opinion on renting. So to find a building that was bigger than what we had, it was going to have to be a pretty special place. And I kind of lucked into what I had. It was set up real close to what I needed to begin with. It took us 2 months for the renovations, but once the renovation was done, we were able to just move right in and get started. We actually moved into the building. The building inspector came in, and on, what was it? It was Wednesday at 1:00 in the afternoon. They came in and said, "You're good. You can have occupancy." By the next day, we had a live trick shot tournament in the building.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And we had nothing. You can go check with all those guys. Check with Theo and all those. We literally removed every single one of the tables, everything from the old room in 12 hours.
Wow.
Here's the good news. It was literally around the block. So we were pushing tables down the street and into the new building. When
on dollies, huh?
Yeah, on diamond dollies. Yeah. I have 7 diamond dollies, so we were just making 2 or 3 trips and pushing everything.
Let me go back to the room. So do you have a pit set up, or you can have like live action matches going on there?
Yeah, actually, Championship, Billiard Cloth, and Dynasphere Balls sponsor my finals arena. And that finals arena currently has 2 7-foots. All the streaming is mounted in the ceiling. I can go live at any point in time with a dual camera setup. It's all ran through a VR4EX, which is an HD system that allows me to use my Canon cameras. We're ready to go. I do a little live streaming, but Daniel will attest to it. Unless you want to donate your entire savings and time to it, it's a little harder to say you're a streamer. So I am not a streamer. I just know how to use the technology that's out there.
Well, Daniel, I'm going to wrap up my end of it as far as asking any particular questions. Do you have any particular questions you have in mind that you want to talk about?
You have you've pulled all the stops here. You're doing a lot of marketing for yourself, and I know that you're not doing this alone, but I can tell. But I do see that steering the ship. You seem to have a good vision, and I wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate it. That was our main focus, and I've got a nice background in marketing, and it's funny, the league room was created about 4 to 6 weeks before I even had a building. And that's what we went through. We did a lot of marketing. There was T-shirts, patches, and all kinds of stuff. People were talking about the league room, and I hadn't even purchased a building yet. So
Well,
I have definitely done the homework.
Then you're doing the right thing.
Then you are doing the right thing. He's right. Yeah.
One final question, I guess. Have you been happy with all the state and local agencies and how you've been treated as a business? And have your neighbors found it okay to deal with? What's been the level of acceptance in the state of West Virginia as far as being shut down, as far as this whole pandemic? What's the general overview on that?
Well, basically, I'm not a conformist by any means, but sometimes I know when not to try to fight City Hall. So as far as everything's been told, I've just done what I was told and knew that, this too shall pass. As far as everybody around me, they all have conformed and everybody's doing what they're supposed to, just trying to get to the end of this so that we can all get back to normal.
Okay. All right. Well, I also want to thank you, Ramin, for introducing us, and
of course.
And I look forward to more in the future. Thanks once again to the League Room, which is in Parkersburg, West Virginia, and they are currently open for a capacity of 25.
That's correct.
Correct.
So you can go in there and you can play some pool.
Absolutely.
That's the League Room, guys. The League Room on Facebook. Check them out and be sure to follow their page. Find out more about what they're doing over there in West Virginia. Once again, thanks a lot, Ramin Bakhtiari.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Yep. Thanks for watching that segment, guys. That was Christopher Wilson, owner of the League Room in Parkersburg. So we want to wish him the best of luck out there with his room. It's got like 30 tables almost. So, can you imagine that? You got a room with like 10 tables, and then you're looking to grow. And as soon as you get ready to open the doors to, let your customers into a brand new facility, you get shut down because of the pandemic. Well, that's probably happening to a lot of people around the country. And we are also going to go live now with Chris Swart from California Billiards, who's going to give us an update on our interview with him, which took place last week between me, him, Jerry Matchin, and Gilbert Najam. So let's check in and see if we can get...
Good. How you doing, Daniel? Check.
All right, that should be it. Okay, hey, Chris, what's going on, buddy?
Not much.
Everybody, this is Chris Swart, owner of California Billiards in Fremont, and I just thought we would call and get a follow-up from you, because I know that we were talking about the pandemic. We were talking about on Friday, May 8th, that we're going to start opening up stage 2 or whatever the heck that is, right? Stage 2 businesses to the public.
Right.
And so I just figure, we'd find out from you live what's going on in real time.
Nothing's really changed for me business-wise. I know that they've talked about doing stage 2, but I think they haven't fully done stage 2. They've only picked and choose who they wanted to open in stage 2. But the reality is we're still doing some cleaning inside, getting ready to open. My feeling is I think we're going to be looking around the 15th to the 20th, probably in that time range, where I'm hoping that we get a little bit of a reprieve and get to open up. That's my plan anyway.
So before the end of this month?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I can open up. My thought is to probably open up on the 15th anyway, restaurant-wise. I can still do takeout only, but I think a lot of businesses are starting to get restless, and I think there's a lot of movement right now going on. It depends on what county you're in. There's a lot of frustration. So I think that pressure is getting worse, and I think it's going to start getting to a point to where either they're going to let us do it, or we're just going to end up doing it and go from there.
Yeah. Have there been a lot of demonstrations and stuff? I mean, what's going on like on the street?
Sacramento, I know they've been doing it, I think, every weekend for the last 3 weekends, I believe, but which is funny because it's not really Sacramento that's closed down like we are. I'm in the 6 counties of the Bay Area, the 6 king counties that think that they're kings and queens. And that's where most of the shutdown is. I mean, you get a little bit in the cities. Some people are trying to protest, but most of it's going on in Sacramento, and I think that's geared towards Newsom. But I don't believe that Newsom is the biggest problem that I have. It's my counties, or are the 6 Bay Area counties that are more of our problem than Newsom is.
Is that so?
Yeah, because I just think they want to be in the forefront. They want to be the first ones to close, which we were. This is California. They want to be in front of everything, and they want to be special. And sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's nice to be able to be in a state that wants to be the leaders. But sometimes they got to look past the politics, and they got to realize what's going on. And right now, the 6 counties, as I call them, and that's pretty much what they're doing, are making their own decisions on what they want to do, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. But I don't think. Are
we talking like a week's notice here, or what kind of lead time are you hoping for?
Again, we talked about this in the last interview, and I haven't received any notice from anybody or any talking from anybody. So I'm just waiting for the word to say that pool rooms or entertainment can open. Like I said, I'm partially a restaurant, so I think I'm going to force myself to open anyway, and then just go from there. I know that there's a few, like you've talked about so far with Chris out of West Virginia, and other places, that there are pool rooms that are opening now. Griff's up in Vegas, I think, opened yesterday. Amazing to me that Vegas is opening up, but that's what's going on. So I think as we start to see it, I think it'll start to come here pretty quick.
And how do your employees feel? How do your employees feel right now? Are they ready to go back to work? Are they like dying to get back in there, or do you have some of them who are like, whoa, keep the brakes on,
Dying to get back in here.
Dying to get back in.
Dying, literally dying.
I
don't think I have any. Yeah, I don't think I have any of them that have talked to me about not wanting to come into work.
Yeah.
I think they all do. It's they got to make a living too, and even though I'm paying their salaries, 75% of their salaries, I'm not.
You've been doing that for now 2 months, right?
Right, and it's not near enough. They're making tips, they're making their money, and some of them, I would say, I think 4 or 5. I got about 4 full time, and then the rest of them have part time. They have other jobs too. So there's a few employees I have that have full time jobs.
Yeah. And
then just use this for the side. It's hurting all of them, that's for sure. But I haven't had one that said, "Oh, I don't want to come back." Not yet, anyway.
So, well, Anna, I'm not even going to ask you about your customers. I know they're dying to come back too.
Yes.
Let me ask you something. You have a Tesla manufacturing plant right down the street from you, owned by, it's Elon Musk, and he is currently suing the Alameda County so that he can at least partially open his plant. Are you? Is that raising your eyebrows? Are you thinking like, hey, is there any way I can jump on that bandwagon, or put pressure back on the county?
Right, kind of a double-edged sword for me. In one breath, it pisses me off that he's trying to open. I don't think it's fair if he opens and I don't. But on the other hand, I don't mind jumping on the bandwagon. So if he's big enough and powerful enough to open his doors, it'll just lead to everybody else being open to open their doors. Because my thought is, if he can allow, I mean, it's manufacturing. There's no way they can do the 6 foot distance.
Yeah.
And there's no way they're checking. They probably got 7,000 employees in there, so they're not checking everybody. So if they're allowed to open, there's no reason why we can't open. But yeah, that's it's good and it's bad. It's kind of, like I said, it's a little bit of both. I'm a little irritated by it, but I'm hopeful because it's kind of, I think it's what is needed with some of these businesses that just need to, we need to start. We need to open up and just start the doors. I'm cool with the 25%. I'm cool with 25 people. We just need to start the start of opening and then control it. Not just, hey, it's wide open, go ahead. I get it's got to be controlled, but it's got to start here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they can do a case study unless there's a case to study. So there's.
Look, don't get me on the case study stuff. I think that's all a waste of time. I think, in all honesty, all these guys that want to do case studies are just doing it to make money because there's money in it. Yeah. They're going to get paid to make studies. The studies aren't going to do any good. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to follow. You talked about that a little bit. You're not going to be able to follow all this stuff. Uh-huh. It's just another way to make money off of a pandemic. Just let us open up and get back to. We don't need to get back to normal yet, but at least start something.
Are you getting to? I mean, meanwhile, I'm hearing from you recently that a place closed that had been opened over 4 decades.
Yes. Saddle Rack started in San Jose, I believe, in the 70s. Moved to Fremont maybe 15, 20 years ago. Okay. Very big entertainment establishment. It's probably 5 miles down the street from me.
Saddle Rack.
It's a country bar. They have live entertainment that comes in, bars, that kind of stuff. I'm surprised because he owns his own building. He owns a building. They've had it for a long time. I'm surprised that they went down that fast. But it's just, when you have something that has entertainment like that, there's a lot of money on it. There's a lot of money he's losing. Mm-hmm. So you have to make a decision. Either you stay closed and you lose everything you have, or you force yourself open and face the consequences, or you just sit there and wait for everybody to make up their minds. It's hard to do.
Yeah, these are real weird times. I have an uncle that owns a house in Wales, and it's with 30 acres of land. He hasn't been able to sell it for 3 years. Now all of a sudden he's got people making offers because, they're just willing to pack up and move to the countryside because of this.
Right.
So it's real weird. And then you got places like, your metropolitan areas that regardless of who stays and who goes, there's businesses that still want to open.
Yeah.
So it's really tough.
Like I said, it seems to be more political than anything else. I know, listening and watching London Breed in San Francisco, one of the things that doesn't make sense to me is they'll open up a park. Of course, everybody's going to flood that park because it's open.
Or
and
a
then
beach.
They go out and then they go out and scold everybody the next day because they were all out there, and then basically either force it back down again, or threaten to do that. And the reality is, give it 2 days and it'll calm down.
Yeah.
Everybody's been stuck in their house for 2 months.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to get a big rush out there, but go out there, police it a little bit, give it 2 days, and it'll calm down. But the problem is, it seems to me they want to use and abuse their power. They want to show everybody that, give you a little bit of candy, but if you eat too much of it, we're going to take it away from you.
Well,
and the scolding's got to stop.
Is it possible too, you think, that maybe there are just politicians that don't want to be the fall guy for something that does go wrong?
That's part of it, but I think a lot of it is
they're just afraid,
I think a lot of it's a power trip, and I think a lot of it is they make a lot of money from their constituents, and I think that they want to listen to their they want to listen to the businesses that are paying them.
Yeah.
And but the problem is with this whole thing, and I think it's throughout the country, is nothing's organized. Nothing is the same throughout the states or throughout the United States or throughout each county. Everybody's got a different way that they're dealing with it. And this actually shows who your good mayors are, your good governors are. You see who your hotheads are and who they're not. This is pointing it out directly because you got some people, like I said, that are power tripping off of it, and you got other, mayors and governors that are understanding that something's got to get back to normal.
Yeah.
Not a rush, but let's get it back. Let's get something back to normal. Let's get it going.
A lot of differing opinions from state to state.
A lot.
So you as a business owner, at what point do you start to become like Peter Finch in the movie Network? I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
You know what? You sent me that. That was the best. That's the best thing I've ever seen because it's the reality right now.
Yeah.
That's so to the point right now. So to the point. And I think, to be honest with you, I think that's what I'm talking about, the pressure. I think you're starting to see that right now. I'm seeing it here in California.
That
I think
boiling
you're seeing
point.
it in other cities. The boiling point is there. And if they don't release that a little bit, then it's going to cause more damage than it's worth. And I think a lot of places are starting to see that. They got to do that release because otherwise it's just going to explode into something they can't control.
And you are technically now, since the Saddle Rack is closing, you're technically now the only entertainment destination in your city. Is that correct?
Pretty much. But we're not anything until we're open. So right now there's no entertainment in Fremont until I open the doors. But I mean, and to me that's sad. I mean, it's a sad thing. They've been around a long time. But this is what businesses are going through, and a lot of people think that businesses are getting helped out there. They're not. A lot of the small businesses are not getting help, and I think that's part of the frustration too. So,
are you on a timeline, Chris? Do you even want to get into that
timeline? My timeline is the end of this month. I will open by the end of this month, no matter what. That's my timeline. So, do I want to go the 15th? Absolutely, but I will not go past. June 1st, the doors will open. I don't care what's going on. It's time. So, do I have a timeline? Absolutely. June 1st is my timeline. Because now 15th will be 2 months exactly. Another maybe 2 more weeks after that, then I gotta say no more. But I'd love to open before that. But that's pretty much my end game is June 1st. It's got to get open. So.
Well, I hope the same for you. I mean, I wish you could have opened yesterday, but we all know that's not happened. So I wish you the best. Anything you want to say to the rest of us here? You've been seeing any pool matches or anything interesting?
I did. I've been paying attention to some stuff that's been out there, some pay-per-view stuff. Paying attention to some of your stuff that you have on your website. The reality, the last week or so, I've been actually at the pool room because Jerry, after speaking with Jerry, kind of made me feel like I should be down there doing some work. So I've actually been down there doing some cleaning up, some painting.
Well, good, because you are gonna open. So
absolutely. Absolutely. So it's just getting down there and getting stuff done. I've had a couple guys come in there and play some matches. I have one happening on Monday, so we're doing some secret not so secret now, but secret matches that are going on because it needs to be done. I'm not making anything off of it, but it's just letting people kind of vent. They need to get going.
Robert A in our chat room, he just asked us what do you expect the new normal will be for a pool room? In other words, masks, other measures, stuff like that. I just wanted to let you know, Robert, that if you go to my YouTube channel and you look at What's a Pool Room to Do interview with Jerry, Chris, and Gilbert, you will find a pretty long interview with those guys about what the new normal will be. But just in one paragraph, could you kind of encapsulate that for you, Chris?
Sure. I think pool rooms, if we were wide open, I think I'd be just as busy, if not more busy than I was when we closed. That's not going to happen. We're going to open slow. That's going to be my problem because I've got so many people that are calling every day to see if I'm open. I'm going to be forced to probably go members only for, I'm going to say probably about a week because I can control that. And they are my members, so they pay up, they pay, and that's the start. Doing the stuff inside, I think every pool room's doing pretty much about the same thing. Skipping tables, making sure all the cues that we have on the wall we have and we're sanitizing, making sure the balls are clean, which we do all the time anyway. The masks are going to be kind of interesting to me. I'm already seeing, especially in the Bay Area, within the last few days, it went from basically 90% people having masks on to about 40% of people having masks on. I think the mask thing is going to go by the wayside. I don't think that that's going to last too long.
Really?
I think that they're going to want it, but I think people are just tired of wearing the mask. So I will obviously have my employees will have it. My protection is going to be more my employees. My customers obviously need to protect themselves to a point. We will help them as much as we can, but everybody needs to help themselves. It all depends on what people want to do. It's their choice. Again, it's their choice to lock in the doors, their choice if they want to wear a mask, their choice if they want to wear gloves, their choice to do that kind of stuff. I'm not going to force people to do something that they don't want to do.
Ken Karp in the chat room, he says that in the state of Oregon, they're allowing video poker machines that make sure they're 6 feet apart. Are you going to do something like that, like just rent out every other table, that type of situation?
Yes, that's my plan. Is every other table to start.
Okay, all right.
To be honest with you, I don't think it's going to be more than a week that we're going to be doing that. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to, I think it's going to open up back more normal faster than people think. And that's just because I don't see, unless something really drastic happens with a bunch of people, the numbers start to go the wrong way. I see the floodgates coming within a week or two.
I think I agree with you. Because I think once all the businesses get leveled out with their vendors and stuff and get all straightened out there, because I know that's going to be an immediate rush, right? A lot of people are going to overwhelm their vendors, the people that supply them and stuff. But I think once you get over that curve, I think it's going to start becoming business as usual with social distancing.
Yeah, I agree. And to be honest with you, I don't think that social distancing is going to last that long. I honestly, I mean, it sounds funny, but I'm where I'm at right now is in Northern California. They lifted the stay at home on Friday. I look across the street and I see 6 cars of everybody coming over and visiting, and they haven't seen people in 2 months. The lakes are starting to open. There's a line that is so long for one of the lakes up here. It's ridiculous. You can't even get in.
For one of the what?
That's the lakes.
Oh.
Lakes for people to go boating. Everybody wants to go boating, right?
It's that time of year, too.
Absolutely. 90 degrees up here, and everybody wants to hit the lake. So the lines for that are an hour, 2 to 3 hours to get in. So it just, of course, everything is, once they open stuff up, everything's going to be a mess. The 6 foot thing, I just don't see it getting regulated too much longer. And I think people are just going to go back to normal pretty quick. I don't think it's going to take too long. And then there's going to be other people that will stay home, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
Eventually, I think it's actually up to the government to get their shit together in a way, because, you have stayed closed for this long so that they can get their shit together, so that they can get the testing in place, so that, the Defense Production Act can be put into order, where they're making enough masks and making enough gloves and all the stuff that's needed out there for people to get tested and kind of like get on top of this epidemic or pandemic. And now it's your turn to open back up. I mean, if they haven't got their shit together, then that's their fault, right?
Yeah, and the other thing that really helps us too, and I'm sure pretty much 90% of viewers watched it, is the UFC fight last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's going to help start to open up stuff because people are starting to see that major sports there's a movement in the major sports to start getting that going.
Right.
So I think, to be honest with you, I think we're going to have way too many masks. I think we're having way too many gloves because we're not going to need them here pretty soon. It's going to go back to, and I've even heard commercials with this, and I remember the commercials from the beginning of when this all happened.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your hands, use sanitizer, all that good stuff, and don't touch your face. That's it. That's what it's going to come back to.
Like I
Washing
just
your
did.
hands, sanitizer, all that good stuff. And that's why I think the masks and the gloves and all that are going to start going back to the wayside. I don't see that lasting too long.
Okay.
I really don't.
Well, I just hope we don't see this lasting too much longer. And I look forward to seeing you open. Dude, I can't wait to take a road trip up there. I don't even have to stream anything, man. I just want to go up there and hit some balls.
Well, I mean, there's good things that have come from this, too. Look, your podcast. There's a lot of things that have actually been that have come out because of this pandemic that I think is it will be the new norm. I think you're going to have companies that have people working at home that are probably going to have them working at home 3 days a week and have them travel to the office 2 days a week.
You're right about
there's
that,
a lot
too.
of things I think are going to change. I think there's a lot of things that are going to change, but hopefully everybody still wants to play pool and they come out.
There's going to be a lot more people playing the Ghost, too.
Yeah, I think that's all going to go away, too, as soon as they can start playing somebody.
I know, right?
Everybody's tired of the Ghost. Come on, man.
Cool. Well, Chris, I really appreciate your time with us on POV Pool, and I look forward to seeing you open really soon. Me
too. Everybody stay safe, and when we're ready to open, everybody will know. Come running. We need the help. That's for sure.
Okay. Cool.
Right,
hey, by the way, I think I'm gonna put Jimmy Mattia on my show next week. Anything you want to say to him?
Yeah. Come on to my place and let's set up a match or something.
Yeah, let's get you and Keith in the box.
Yeah, come on in. Come on over. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what. That's what's going to start happening here. As soon as pool room's open, there's going to be
people woofing.
Bergman's going to be out there. Scott's going to be out there. All of these guys are going to be running matches left and right. So yeah. I see it all moving pretty quick. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Really good.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If nothing else, man, it's nice to see you with a smile on your face, bro.
That's fake. You know me.
All right, Chris. Best of luck to you.
All right, buddy.
Chris Swart, co-owner of California Billiards in Fremont, California. Check it out at californiabilliards.com, or you can go to their Facebook page at California Billiards. Anything else you want to say, sir?
No, good. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your Mother's Day. Bye,
yeah, happy Mother's Day. That's true. All right, buddy. Take care of yourself, Chris.
All right. You, buddy.
All right.
Bye.
Well, that was Chris Swart, California Billiards. Really, really good to talk to him. And I know he's mad, though. You could believe it. He is mad that his place is not open yet, And I actually think he was being diplomatic, because he's a lot more upset with his, with the state agencies and everybody than he leads on to believe, because he wants to be open, and, hold on a second. Just going to leave this meeting. Okay. I can hear him in the background. Good. All right. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this today's podcast. We are making progress, slowly but surely. Rooms are starting to open up, whether or not they be for limited capacity. They are available to open up. I have one more thing to do today, and that is to give you a reading from Jay Helfert's book this week. It's called More Pool Wars. So let's check it out. just had to visit the library. I'd like to say hi to Jay Helfert. I think he's in like Playa Vista, somewhere like that. And I'd like to thank him for allowing me to read an excerpt from his book, More Pool Wars, which you can buy at www.jhelfert.com. And the reason I wanted to do this excerpt is because this is about a guy that I've played pool against. His name is Archie The Greek. In 1995, he did something amazing. He did what is known by local insiders in Las Vegas insiders. He did the run, which was this run starting from a $50 bankroll, and he raised $40 million in cash at the Vegas casinos, mainly the Horseshoe Casino. And he also hustled a lot of people out of poker as well. Like within weeks, he went from $50 to $40. So Jay Helfert tells it much better than I do. And I'm going to read this for you now. And I really thank Jay Helfert for allowing me to do this. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you all enjoy this. And don't forget to get Jay Helfert's book at jhelfert.com. On the first day, there, Archie beat the crap tables for several $100,000. The second day saw Archie increase his bets, and now he won another $1 million. He had the horseshoe back on its heels, and they had no choice but to let him play. If they wanted to get their money back, excuse me, hold on a second. If they wanted to get their money back, I see. Okay, hold on a second. Beep, 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 beep. He had the horseshoe back on its heels, and they had no choice but to let him play if they wanted to get their money back. That didn't happen, though. It only got worse, with Archie ultimately winning. Oh no, am I losing? With Archie ultimately winning $10 million. Yes, you read that number right. He also acquired all the $5,000 chips that the horseshoe had. He had all the chips, 20 racks, locked up in a box at the horseshoe. And Jack Binion had to ask him if he could buy back some of the high-dollar chips. This had to be a first in Las Vegas history. Was this enough to satisfy the Greek? Not by any means. Now a fully financed Archie the Greek headed to Las Vegas Strip and the biggest casinos in the world. He began to wreak havoc at Caesar's Palace, the Mirage, Bellagio, and Tropicana, and Treasure Island, all feeling his sting. Within a period of months, Archie had amassed millions more, now resting comfortably in the private boxes and casinos from end to end of one strip to the other. He was sitting on a fortune estimated to be well over $30 million. Soon, the IRS came knocking at Archie's door, inquiring about the openly circulating rumors of his newfound wealth. No problem that a $4 million settlement wouldn't cure. Archie was sitting on a fortune, and he could easily sit back and live well for the rest of his life. At least you'd think so. Not this man, though. He had to be in action. He craved it. That was the reason for his living. You see, Archie, he was a gambler to the core. The money is only ammunition for him to keep score. After most of the casinos barred him from playing craps, he moved on to other games, ones in which he couldn't control the fall of the dice. This was to be his downfall. Games like blackjack, pai-gow, and baccarat, they weren't so well suited for Archie. Nevertheless, he felt like he could out-gamble the casinos, steadily increasing the size of his bets. This strategy ultimately backfired, and Archie gave back most of his winnings during a one-year down cycle. What had been the all-time monster bankroll had shrunk to under $1 million. In his newly impoverished state, Archie proclaimed himself to be broke. He barely had enough money to buy himself a cup of coffee and a house. Did Archie complain, or did he become depressed? Not at all. He was just forced to downsize his action, returning again to the pool halls, to the card rooms, to look for games. That was when I ran into Archie again, about 10 years ago. It was my pool room, Jay's Billiards and Sports Bar, located inside the Hollywood Park Casino. Next door was Hollywood Park's racetrack, with an endless flow of gamblers. I was in the ideal location to develop a nice business, catering to this clientele. Things were going well for me, and one day Archie walked in, ostensibly just to say hello. He'd first met me many years before in a similar encounter to the one with Bobby Baldwin. I was playing pool in a bar in South LA, and Archie chanced to come in and see me taking off the locals. We were only playing for maybe $1 to $5 a game, but Archie challenged me to bet more. He wanted to play for 10 or 20 a game. At first, I thought he was also a hustler like me, so I agreed to play, but only for $10. I won easily, and it looked like maybe he wasn't so good after all. We increased the bet to $20 and I won again. I figured this guy in the shiny suit was a pool imposter, posing as money player with no real ability to play. We've seen those before. At least that's what I thought at the time. We played one final game for $50, which I also won. After that, Archie quit, and we never played again. Years later, when I reminded him about our first meeting, Archie told me he wanted to see if he could make me choke back then. Makes sense, I guess. He didn't know how hungry I was back in those days. I was a ravenous pool player, devouring any and all that I could find every day. Now here he was, many years later, the celebrated gambler gracing my humble establishment. We chatted about how my business was going and the quality of the card games that could be found downstairs in the casino. A short time later, Archie excused himself, went down to the casino, and he got a seat in the biggest game in the house, the 40-80 game, the Limit Hold'em game. Word filtered back to me over the next few days that Archie was beating the game for thousands of dollars daily. Why was I not surprised? After a week or so of Archie killing the 40-80 game, the biggest gambler in the casino, a young Asian guy, challenged Archie to play a $50,000 heads-up freeze-out. They would play until someone had all the money. Smart move, huh? The game started the next night at 7 p.m., and by 10 p.m., Archie had all the dough. Where does Archie go after to celebrate? Why, Jay's Billiards, of course. He and his buddy Lou came up for some pizza, some beer, and some laughs. They had divested the top section of Hollywood Park card room out of $50,000 in just over a week. What Archie would call a starter bankroll. Archie lamented to me that the game downstairs had dried up and no one wanted to play with him anymore. He was looking for greener pastures. Little did I know that he meant my pool room. Our conversation soon turned to reminiscing about our one chance encounter all those years ago, and how I'd gotten the best of him that time. Did I want to play some more? Archie inquired. Well, this was an unexpected turn of events. our friendly conversation had taken on a more serious tone. I'd been playing a lot of pool lately, mostly money games, with some pretty good local players. I was in action for 50 or 100 a game on a regular basis, and I was playing well. Plus, Archie had a bankroll on him, and he had a roll on him that could choke a horse. And that was attractive to me. What did he have in mind? I wanted to know. He said, how about some one pocket with a spot, of course. I knew this was coming. Just how much of a spot was the question? We played on my front table, a very tough gold crown that I knew like the back of my hand. I felt very comfortable playing in my pool room on my favorite table. We played for $500 a game, and I won $2,500 the first night. Archie returned the next day, and he wanted to renegotiate the game. I agreed to a spot of 7-4 and the breaks. I won another $3,000. Sweet. Archie left, and I figured the game was over, and I'd made my little score. Later, I was to find out Archie had gone to another pool room and was practicing hard every day to get back in stroke. About a week later, Archie came back. He began to complain to me about how one-sided our game had been. Stupid. I bought it. I thought he was completely inept, and I could give him anything that I wanted, and he wouldn't have a chance. Wrong. I now agreed to give him 5-3 in the breaks, and he would play for $1,000 a game. Big mistake. I won the first game, and Archie won the next 9 in a row. Fast. I was the one who was stuck now. He had my nose wide open, and I was going off. I went to my office to get more dough, where I had an extra 10 grand stashed in the safe. As I was opening the safe, my manager, Charlie Pinkett, came into the office, looked at me with a shocked look on his face. "Boss, what are you doing?" he shouted. It was a wake-up call, and I got the message. Archie had me in a bad game, and I was about to lose some serious money. Maybe even my pool room. Coming to my senses, I quit that game, telling Archie, let's go back to 9-6 or I'm done. He refused to adjust the game. He was smarter than me. And it was all over. Later, I felt fortunate to have only lost a few thousand. It could have been far worse. Archie the Greek is one dangerous guy to mess with, and I learned my lesson that day. As a sucker born every minute. P.T. Barnum. Woo! Jay Helfert. More pool walls. Get it at jayhelfert.com. Thanks a lot, Jay. Appreciate it. All right, guys. That's it. We are going to start our action match now. It's a tournament match between Corey Deuel and Rich Geiler from the Don Weir 9-ball tournament. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. It's kind of a silly podcast, really. I mean, it's not really, it's not a real serious thing. We just want to check in with you, and we just want you to know that we love you, and that we hope you keep loving pool. Pool is not going away, and sooner than later, hopefully we'll be doing matches again real soon. But in the meantime, like I said, every Sunday and Wednesday, I'm going to do something. I'm going to come on the air and give you something. And speaking of which, next week we are going to have Ramin Bakhtiari back to POV Pool, and he's going to be doing an interview with the guys who own Big Dog Billiards in Des Moines, Iowa. That's Randy and Jim. I know those guys from a few years ago. I want to give you guys a shout out now if you guys are watching. And so join us next week for a live well, maybe not live, a recorded interview with Randy and Jim in Des Moines, Iowa, of Big Dog Billiards. That's Iowa's biggest pool room. They've probably got about 30 tables too, 15,000 square foot location. So we're going to find out what that big pool room's doing in Iowa during the pandemic. Big Dog Billiards. And also next week, I hope to have Jimmy Mattia live on the show to talk about everything from pool in the 80s and 90s to the Hall of Fame. So are you guys ready for that action? Join me next week with Jimmy Mattia. Not Wednesday, I don't think. Maybe I'll do it on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. We might do it on Wednesday. We might do it on Sunday. But, and then also next week, we'll have the finals of the Don Weir 9-ball tournament, the invitational that took place in Palm Desert. And that'll be, I'm not going to spoil it for you because you're about to watch the guaranteed third place match right now between Rich Geiler and Corey Deuel. So come check it out. Thanks for watching POV Pool's LiveCast with live here from POV Pool headquarters in Los Angeles. I want to thank everybody that tuned in and just keep loving pool. Long live the pool hall. And, let's all keep our ear to the ground. If you have any news, any comments you want to send me an email, povpool@gmail.com. So with that, I really appreciate everybody for watching, and we'll be back. Thanks. Just real quick, guys. I know you're all watching the podcast. I'd like to invite him to come on your show next week. Talk a little bit about pool. Jay Helfert. Enjoy this race to 6. Rich Geiler versus Corey Deuel. Loser gets third place. Winner. Finals with Shane Van Vogt. Not Sean Van Vogt. Shane Van Vogt. Race the 6. Who's your favorite player? Sean Van Vogt.
Oh yeah, I did.
All right, I'm back. For those who don't know, this tournament took place in Palm Desert, Palm Springs area, February 15th and 16th of this year. Tournament was held in honor of Don Weir, who passed away the year prior, and his son Jason Weir and family worked with the owner of this room, Joel Brunk, to run this tournament. And Jason and Don were good friends of all of the people that are in this tournament. This was an invitational event. Invitational event. Woo. And Rich Geiler is one of them. Sorry about that. Rich the Hat, they call him. Look at this guy. Woo! Come on now.
You've got to be shitting me.
He says, "You've got to be shitting me." He's trying to figure. Even the dog's barking. By the way, that's Corey's dog barking in the background. That's a good hit. A good hit. All right. February 2020, yeah. That's when this took place. This was 6,000 added, and I think Jason wants to add 12,000 next year. It's only a 16-player invitational event. Not everybody gets to play. All these guys are friends of Don Weir's, who passed away last year, including Corey. Corey tried to make the 5 there, and he just lucked out, and he made the 7. He banked it off the 1. He was playing like 3 shots and one right there. Nice shot. Looks pretty good here. All right. Corey is one of the toughest money players in the world. I'll agree with you there, Balint. By the way, it's nice to see you in our chat room again. Nice combo. Shot on the 4. Should, unless I missed something, that should make it 3-0. Hey, shout out to Boom Boss. Good to see you, sir. Stream's going good. We're just wrapping it up here with this third place match between Rich and Corey. Glad you could tune in. Here's Corey with the break. Corey, by the way, is, I don't know, he's probably in the top 25 of competitive pool players in the world. What are they saying nowadays on social network? So, convince me I'm wrong. Change my mind. Is that what they say? Change my mind. Corey Deuel sucks, man. Change my mind. I hate when people change my mind. No, I do not want to change your mind. Check 1, 2. I think this is better. I had a little audio issue. I think I just cleared it up. Change my mind. All right. I'm not sure if Corey can make this one. Yeah, he's so we got safety battle going on here. Playing 9-ball, folks. You got to make those balls in order. Another little, here we go. The safety battle continues. Ball in hand to Corey. He's probably going to play this 1-6 combo now, or 1-6. I think Rich made the ball dead. So it goes straight in. I think Rich might have, he probably should have thought that through a little bit more. Balint Saba says, I'd say something like he's in the top 15 of players in the world, but there are too many good Russians and Chinese players now. Yeah, you might be right about that. 25 is okay. All right. Change my mind. Rich the Hat, by the way, I will say about him, Rich is somebody that I have been seeing in pool rooms for 30 years, but until this event, I never had the honor of being able to really get to know him. Nobody had ever introduced us. Nobody ever tried to match us up in a game. It just never happened. I have been seeing him at tournaments, and I have never even played him in a tournament. But I've been seeing him at tournaments for 30 years, and I only now got to meet him. And I will say something, and I told this to Rich when I met him too. I said, Rich, you're one of the most dapper gentlemen at a pool tournament that I've ever seen. You always show up well dressed, no matter what decade it is, for that matter, because I know as every new decade passes, we start to take on different personas and wear different types of outfits. Boy, Corey would have been a little bummed out if that one ball went into the side. But anyway, Rich has always been a distinguished player. And such a nice guy. Here we go. It's good. Ooh, so close. So it's 3-0, and if Corey closes this game, it's going to be 4-0. It's not looking good for Rich the Hat. Especially alternate break. Can't run any racks out here. No 2-packs or 3-packs. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Corey Deuel, ladies and gentlemen. 4-0. No mercy. Corey actually won that safety battle early in the game, but ended up tough again, and the safety battle had to continue from there. Corey almost made a mistake, and he almost three-railed that one in to the side pocket. Rich came back with a good hit, but he didn't make the one. He ended up leaving it for Corey. So it's not like we're... Uh-oh. Does the golden break count? I think it does. I think it does. It does. It's 5-0. Anyway, what was I saying? So based on the game prior to that, what I was saying is it's not like Corey's playing his best game right now either, because he did make a couple of mistakes. He's let Rich back in, but now it's 5-0. Shout out to Lindsay Marks. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching. They used to call Rich Olympia Rich because he's from Olympia in Washington. He now lives in Seattle, Washington, but I'm sure there's a couple old schoolers that still call him Olympia Rich. Oh, miscue. No good when you're down 5-0. Comes Corey. This actually doesn't look too tough. Just got to work his way from the 4 to the 5. No problem. And hope he doesn't get too extreme on that 8 ball, which is against the rail down by the side pocket. Nice draw. Look at this. He's perfect. Perfect. Woo! Corey Deuel, 6-0, ladies and gentlemen. Big hand for Richie. Hey, thanks, everybody. Keep loving pool. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.
Sit back, enjoy the ride. We're on our way. One track, no turning back. Forget yesterday. Unknown destination, aiming for the sky. So high, so high, so high. Killing frustration, we're doing it all to survive the nightfall. When you fight against the time and you're about to lose your mind, it's easy to cross the line. There's no answer as to why when you look death in the eye. Either you live or you die. Charge up, you're the battery.